Okay. We had a couple of more people actually signed up for the webinar. But I think it's a good idea to also start and not lose too much time. So let's kick off. So hi everybody, welcome to this webinar organized by Cloudteam in collaboration with Financial Force. This webinar will be hosted by Iris and by me, Gurjan. And today we will talk about, let's say, cloud ERP, and then specifically on professional services management in the cloud. Right, short agenda for this morning. Introduction, a little bit around what is cloud ERP based on Salesforce Financial Force. Then we will go a bit deeper into professional services management in this solution setup, and followed by a short demonstration. And then we also have some room for questions and answers. Okay, well, before we go into all those details, let's quickly touch base on, let's say, the two organizations. So on one end, who is Financial Force? So Financial Force is a company created in 2009 and currently serving over 1,000 customers. It's headquartered originally in San Francisco, has multiple offices around the globe, with an important hub, so to say, in the UK, where a lot of the development is executed. From the start, they are natively on the Salesforce platform. Important, as we will show a little bit later down the road. So what is created by Financial Force is a full cloud ERP solution, ranging from accounting to human resource management, professional services automation, down to inventory control. So the full, let's say, ERP as you could imagine it. Financial Force is a strategic Salesforce ISV partner. That means in essence that they team up heavily towards customers, providing this end-to-end solution. Then who is Cloudteam company? Cloudteam is founded in 2014, now grown to 18 experts. We are headquarters in the Netherlands. From the start as well, we focused on Salesforce and Financial Force 100%. So that's the only thing that we do, and that we are completely specialized in. We got further a Apex development center in Eastern Europe and a financial services center in Pakistan. For our customers, although we are based in the Netherlands, we have realized implementations around the globe. And by doing so, and with the number of implementations that we did, we are, for Financial Force now, their preferred implementation partner in Europe. So the services that we deliver is, let's say, from a strategy point of view, cloud ERP strategy and your digital transformation ambitions, how to make that real. And again, like I said, we do that solely focused on the Salesforce and Financial Force platform. In the implementation that we do on ERP, it ranges from, let's say, the sales to finance to professional service automation down to supply chain solutions. Now, next to that, we also have a very technical center, meaning that we do develop apps and enhancements on the platform. So that in essence means that we have business consultants, management consultants, and the technical consultants to make the implementation successful. Now, the Cloudteam experts, it's a very international team. We have 9 nationalities in the company, from Colombian to Zimbabwean, which is very interesting to see, and also how we interact in that sense with customers around the globe. The implementations that we've done so far range, let's say, over the different modules of the cloud ERP solution. The accounting part, most predominantly currently, the professional service automation, HR, down to Billing Central. So some customers choose for module per module, other customers choose for bigger projects to have everything implemented in one go. Like I said, we also develop apps just to give, let's say, specific requirements a place in the cloud ERP solution, and also in some areas we need specific solutions for a specific market. Let's say if you look at the European market, it's all about the SEPA bank integration, which is different than, let's say, a solution needed in North America. So we created that specific enhancement. The same for an automated payable invoice scan app, reducing a lot of manual time needed for our customers in this automated setup. In total, we have eight apps developed, and we can talk about it in another session. Now, going back to the cloud ERP part. So what does it in essence mean? It really means the ability to go from left to right in your business process. Let's say starting with lead generation down to your sales management, opportunity management, up to your operational part, where you will manage your projects, do your resource management, eventually do your bill out to your customer and have your revenue recognized. So the full, let's say, chain going around and giving you the 360 view on your customer. So this has been an ambition for multiple years, the ambition to have this 360 view on your customer. Based on the Salesforce Financial Force platform, this is indeed possible. It's, let's say, one cloud-based platform with one, let's say, underlying database, and making this truly possible. Now, if we look and go a bit more now in detail on the professional services automation solution within this cloud ERP stack. So the module itself is called PSA, Professional Services Automation. It is highly recognized as a truly valuable module. So in this example, you can see how last year winter, again, it was chosen as one of the most powerful solutions by G2 Crowds. What they discovered that users appreciate really the robust resource management capability and its native integration within the Salesforce environment. And let's say this feedback is gathered by G2 through, let's say, reviews, their user communities, but also via the social networks. It really shows an independent scoring of the powerful solution of PSA. If we, let's say, look at the professional services management part, obviously there are a couple of highlights to mention, key features, so to say. So one is that going from your opportunity to your project, so from your sales handover to your operation part, it's a seamless process. We will touch base that in the short demonstration as well. But it's one of the key features. So the other thing is how you do your resource planning and your allocation. And thirdly, the ability to have a combination of fixed price, time and material milestones in your project for invoicing. Now, if you look at why is it important, you could imagine an example project where, let's say, you would start with a business process review workshop that has to be fixed price. You go into a delivery mode of, let's say, hardware. Then you go into the implementation of software and making configuration changes. Obviously, you would like to do that time and material and so on, down to your, let's say, finally your acceptance testing with your customer. So we have a variance of fixed price and time and material milestones, and you also would like to invoice those, let's say, from the project with one click without any hassle. And that is possible with this module. Now, if we make it a bit more tangible with a couple of screen dumps to show you, let's say, the overall process flow, then hopefully it will land on your mind, so to say, and it makes it a bit more easy to keep the overall line while we go into the demonstration in a couple of minutes from now. So, looking at the overall process, like I said, so the importance of having a strong collaboration between sales and your operations. Now, it all starts with creating the right quotes by sales. So on one end, this can be, let's say, further optimized using CPQ or a standardized price book. That's one thing. The other thing is creating the proposal by sales and making sure that if they think it's an 80% chance it will be won, they can already send out the resource request to your internal organization. For instance, a project manager, business analyst, validation engineer, software engineer, anything that is, let's say, sold as such in the proposal. So they are, let's say, ahead of time and making sure your organization is prepared for the eventually closed one. But it all started then from the sales point of view. Now, let's say then moving down to the moment where actually your client will say, okay, I'm going to sign the contract. Yes, we would like to have this implementation done. Now, then it is very interesting how you go from one opportunity to your project with one click. Really one click. That means that the milestones identified in your proposal are automatically, let's say, transferred to your project setup. And there is no need for extensive talks between sales and operations. This is automatically generated. Now then, moving down to your PSA module, so to say, you have your project management dashboard. So now you created multiple projects and you have multiple running projects. You have this great opportunity to have one single view over all your projects, keeping track of the tasks, the budgets, etc. In combination with, obviously, per project, a very detailed and interactive Gantt chart, visualizing your dependencies, timelines, and obviously also moving down to your project financials, looking at your how your revenues are going against your actual cost and the margin coming out. Let's say back up to the level where you can actually create very compelling project executive dashboards to be sure that your internal stakeholders are informed on the right level to the right aggregation level as well. Now, for people working in a project, so in your organization, having everybody staffed to a certain project, there's a great way for them to enter their timesheets. Obviously, they can use, let's say, the schedules from the week before, have them copied automatically, or they can use their hours, let's say, from their predefined planning sheet and further optimize those. But it's one seamless integration within the same module. And of course, people working on a project, they will have expenses. It's the same go. So or by mobile or via, let's say, your entry in your desktop computer, you can easily send in all your expenses. You can also highlight if those expenses should be reimbursed to your clients, yes or no. It's a great way of making sure that everything is up to date and can be reported out as well on a monthly basis and built out to your clients. Now, from your project, it's very important for, let's say, your whole billing out that it is also a very automated process. Now, the possibility with PSA is from your project, you can do with one click, you can start your invoicing. In this case, for example, on a certain milestone. From your project, you created your invoice, you can actually format your invoice and you can then have it sent to your customer with, let's say, 2 more clicks to go. Now, going back to the storyline of the 360 view, that makes it, let's say, in essence, so powerful that all your invoices are sent out. Eventually, they will be paid, and you will have your insights on your customer level. What is the account receivable status of that specific customer? And maybe there are multiple projects running for this customer, but in essence, you will also have multiple customers. So at the end, it will give you the insights, how are the projects going, but also is the client on par with the invoices sent out and the aging of their invoices compared, let's say, also with the number of tickets they might have raised or other proposals that are running for that client from sales perspective. So really a 360 view on your customer. Now, having said, and hopefully this overall storyline gave you some insights already, I will now hand over to Iris. So he will actually open the system and give you a short look around in the system, how it behaves and how it works. And then we also have, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes reserved for questions and answers. So I will stop sharing, and
Yes.
you should be able to take it over.
Yes, thank you, Gert-Jan. I hope you can all see my screen.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Yes.
My name is Iris. I'm a PSA consultant within Cloudteam company, and I've been working with them for almost 3 years right now. Done a lot of PSA projects, and in this demo I just want to give you in a nutshell a quick overview of the standard PSA processes based on best practices that we've seen so far during our implementations as customers. So I would like to start on the homepage, and I'm landing on this homepage which shows me a project manager dashboard. So this will be the start point of the day for a project manager. Well, he will have certain dashboards and reports showing him, for example, estimates versus actual hours on certain projects, some successes, so go lives by month to track how many customers actually went live this current month or maybe in the year. I can see a billing forecast where I can see if there's anything that I should still be doing for this month. Some project execution, projects by statuses to track which statuses or which projects are at risk, and which I should pay some attention to, for example, are in the yellow stage. Another example of a report for project manager could be the risk and severities by projects to track any kind of projects that are at risks, and I could track what the risks actually are and the severity of those risks. But let's start from the sales point of view at an opportunity. So right now I'm landing in this opportunity. We have this Philips implementation for financial force accounting opportunity. And sales has actually started working on this opportunity and started to assign some products to this opportunity. So this is where it all starts, making an estimation of what I'm going to sell. And in this case, sales has sold some 400 hours of professional services and a part which is fixed price of a discovery session, 5,000 euros. So this ends up at a total of 55,000 euros on this opportunity. You could see I log a region and a practice to the opportunity, and this is done for reporting purposes. So the management can track any kind of forecasting within each region or within each practice. I've added the desired go live date for this opportunity. If you want, you can track pre-sales time logged against opportunities. So if you would like to track any costs that were actually spent on the opportunity before it was even closed, you can ask your sales through Financial Force PSA to log their time against any opportunity spent. So you could see on the opportunity right now, I have 43 hours spent actually before my project has actually started. So, and I can bring these costs across to my projects to track the overall profitability on the project itself. When I scroll down, you can see that I have a customer reference listed, and I have decided on a next step. If you would like to track any capacity forecasting on different types of roles within your organization, you can ask your sales to do some resource requesting, to do resource forecasting. And a resource request is fairly simple. You could see that there are already 2 logged against this opportunity. And basically I will quickly create or show you how you can create one. So sales would just go to resource request, enter in an amount of requested hours and select a role. They can already put in a planned bill rate if they know what they're probably gonna sell, a start and end date of the project. And you can ask if you would like to track forecasting capacity against skills and certifications. PSA offers the possibility to log skills and certifications with ratings against any resource requests. If you create these resource requests, this will allow you to report or to create a report like this. So this is, for example, a capacity forecasting report where you could see that broken down by month, you can see the capacity remaining, the total assigned hours, if there are any non-billable hours assigned, and held and unheld resource request against any kind of region. So this is the region Switzerland, but you could basically report against any kind of region of practice that you've created on the opportunity. So going back to my opportunity, some really simple configuration that we do a lot of times for customer projects is create roll-up summaries. This will give sales a quick insight instead of going through each resource request and adding up, for example, all the requested hours. You can have them rolled up automatically, and you could see this is the amount of total requested hours related to this opportunity. And this is my total billable amount based on those resource requests. So basically the difference between my resource request billable amount and my opportunity amount might be the reason why I still need to create an extra resource request, or maybe this 5,000 euros doesn't need to be covered within a resource request because it can be a product amount, for example. So then I'm at the stage where I've closed my deal. So I set the stage to closed won. PSA standard offers the opportunity to create a project where you could fill in some extra details. But what we've done at a lot of customers is just automate this process. And as soon as the stage hits closed won, it will create this project automatically. So let's dive into the project that has been created. So here you can see my project. There's a lot of information on my screen. So basically from the opportunity, it will take my budget to the project. It has created one milestone because in my opportunity, I had 50,000 euros of professional services and I had 5,000 euros of a discovery session, which was fixed price. So this created a milestone automatically in my project. So here you can see already that there is already some preset statuses. It's taken the start and end date for my opportunity, the desired go live date, and the region and practices to also allow reporting within these practices and regions for this project. There are some predefined reports showing on my project, and when I drill down to financials, I can already see that there's a budget created. There's already some delivered services related to this project, and I have some costs. So let's go into my project planning. So a project manager can use the project task Gantt to create some project task or to prepare his project planning. Oh, I get a warning about time zones, but that's all right. So here you see an example of a project task Gantt planning. So what I've done as a project manager, I've set up a set of tasks for this project. And as you can see, I also have created some dependencies. So Financial Force allows you to create some dependencies within each task, allows you to add some legs if necessary. And as soon as I start to shift these tasks, my other task will follow. Go back. I've logged some estimated hours against each task, and then as soon as people start to log time against the task, you can see the percentage complete and the remaining hours. So for example, for my first task, which is the standard setup, you can see that it's actually 57% complete and there's still 46 hours, or there's 46 hours spent and there are 34 hours remaining. And you can customize the fields that are showing in here. You can drag and drop the columns in the order, whatever you like. So let's return to my project. If you have a group of people that's working on the same project, Financial Force allows you to mass assign people, which is a very useful tool as soon as you start to create more than 3 assignments, I think, on a project. So I can quickly show you what the UI looks like. So you're allowed to create some filters. So if you want to filter on a list of people based on a specific skill or certification, maybe a language, for example, or within a certain region and practice, you can add those filters, and then as soon as you drop the filter box, then you see here the list of resources that actually match within your filters. You can see their availability within this time period that you've set, and you see the region and the practice. As well, it shows the default cost rate, so you can filter on a default cost rate as well. Then if you select the people, so let's just change the practice in this case and show to make sure that there are a little bit more resources matching. Yes, so now you can see this this list. So what you could do is just select everyone within the list or everyone you want to assign and select on create assignments. This allows you to mass update any kind of assignments and to apply any kind of standard schedule to each of these assignments. So, but I've prepared already some assignments on this project, so I will cancel. Then as soon as a project manager has created some assignments, he can have an overview in the project planner on who's working when on his project. So this is my project planner. It has filtered on this particular project, and below I can see that these 3 people are actually working on this project and how many hours they're planning to spend for each week. Adjusting this, these assignments is fairly easy. You can just double click on the box, and for example, instead of 24 hours, I'm going to spend 22. And then hit save. If someone gets sick, for example, and you need someone to replace a resource on this assignment, you can easily select the assignment and drop the split assignment box. You can select the day you want to split this assignment, for example, or someone needs to go at the 4th, and you can just select the new resource that needs to work on this assignment and hit split. But for now, I'll just leave it to these 3. I can save my changes of 24 to 22, and I will return. So then on my overall project details, based on these assignments, I can see an estimated time to complete my project. If I scroll down below to my, yes. So here you could see I started off with my planned hours being 400 based on my opportunity and my contract. So what you can see is actually based on my scheduled hours for my resources, I'm planning to spend more, or I'm planning to spend right now 614 hours in total. So these are my scheduled hours, and these are my scheduled hour plus the hours that I've actually already spent. So these 598 plus my 16 hours. So I really need to do something as a project manager. Also my status on hours shows up red because something's going wrong within my planning. So then it allows me again to go into my project planner, see what's going on, change my schedules to make sure this all looks all right. Okay, so I've staffed my resources against my project. So let's block some time against this project. So what consultants will do, they will enter this time entry screen and they select the week they want to log time against. What you will see here, by default, it will show you the schedule that they have been assigned to for each project. So N right now is just assigned to one project, which is basically my Philips project for 4 hours. So what I can do if I worked according to my schedule, I can just say copy selected schedules, which will allow me to copy my hours and then, oh, no. My screen gets stuck. Let's reload for a second. A copy my selected schedule will allow me to log time exactly against my schedule, and there's no need to log these hours manually. Select a different week. If I worked exactly the same like last week, I can just say copy from previous week, and it will bring over all my hours from previous week and put it in there. I can make some adjustments. For example, instead of 4, I worked 5, and then here I worked 4, and then the other ones are right. And I can say submit. If necessary, I can also log notes against each day to show my project manager what I've been working on, or for example, to send to the customer in a status report, so the customer knows exactly what you've spent your time against the project. Then as a project manager, I probably need to approve quite some time cards. So a very useful tool within Financial Force PSA is the approve multiple time cards functionality. So what you can do, you can add some filters. So you can see that I can filter on some projects that I've been assigned as project manager. I can filter on a time card week ending date if I want to select all time cards within a specific date range. I can filter on a resource or only billable time cards, yes or no, or in a specific group. But let's see. Let's see how many time cards I need to approve. There are now 2 time cards that I need to approve. And what I can do, I can adjust this information that's shown right here. But right now it will give me enough information to say, okay, I will approve these time cards. Or I can say I will reject the selected time cards. Then if I go back to my projects, my project, I'll just do a quick refresh. You can see in this estimated versus actual hours report that's loading right now, it will show me the estimated hours for this total project. I'll just refresh it. And the actual hours spent. So this helps a project manager to see if we're still on track on budget, or if we need to do something and step in. Now, since my time cards are approved, and I still have 1 milestone that can be built, I can do some project billing and some really useful fields that you can use for reporting are, for example, for example, my financials. So right here, you can see that there are some delivered services that add up to an amount of almost 11,000 euros, but I actually have 0 euros invoiced. So this shows me that I can take some action because actually I have some billable items that I can invoice. So let's create an invoice. So you can bill on a project level, or what you can do if you have multiple projects that you want to invoice at the same time for this customer, you can go to the account and create an account billing where you can select time cards from all different projects or milestones from all different projects or a combination of those. But right now we'll just do some billing from the project itself. So I press my project billing option in here. You can see that I have 3 time cards that are available to be billed, and I have a milestone that can be billed. You can also add some filters if you have a lot of billable items or a lot of time cards and you want to exclude one, for example. You can filter on resource, start and end date, but you can also add custom filters as well. So what I will do, I will select basically everything right now. So I'll select my milestone and I will select my time cards. And if I click on summary, it will show me, refresh. It will show me everything that I've selected. So I've selected 3 time cards and a milestone. And then I say generate billing event. And a billing event basically represents a sales invoice within Financial Force PSA. If you have if you have an integration with Financial Force Accounting, it allows you to create a sales invoice straight into your accounting system. And you can invoice this sales invoice to your customer, and then as soon as it's paid, you can match it, which will be reflected on the project itself. So basically, this was the end-to-end process in a nutshell for Financial Force PSA. And if there are any questions, please let me know. So.
Yes, thanks, Iris, for this short demonstration.
You're welcome.
And yes, indeed. Any questions from the audience? Okay. If there are no burning questions so far, we can then, let's say, close this webinar. We will share the recording of this one, and then you always have the opportunity to, let's say, come back to us with maybe more specific questions or an ask or a need for a more in-depth discussion about the overall possibilities of Cloud ERP based on Salesforce Financial Force. Yeah, so thanks, I would say then, for joining this webinar, and I wish you a great working day.